This video is going to tell you what I think dealerships need to change in order to sell more cars. Here we go. Okay, so this video is sort of a rant. Something that's been bothering me. And it's something that I've noticed at a number of dealerships. So I recently did a video on what 2017 HD truck I thought was the best. And my conclusion was Ram. And I had at that point driven a couple of them, but I actually hadn't driven them all. So maybe what I said wasn't on the best groundings. After going to the dealerships, I agreed with the decision that I had made. Wholeheartedly, hands down, Ram, I think, is the best 2017 HD pickup. That being said, throughout my time going to different dealerships, I noticed a few things. And I think it would be helpful and important to share these things. So I want to start with, I think I'm going to have 3. So I may change that. But number 1, the first thing I noticed is just the lack of, maybe it's passion, I don't know what the word would be, but the lack of knowledge about the vehicles being sold. So I went to a number of dealerships, and at the Ford dealership I went to, the guy acted like he knew what he was talking about, but he was just pulling it out of his butt. It was terrible. I didn't believe a word he said. He contradicted me on things that I had been told by other people, other dealerships. Like, no, that's not true. Specifically Ram. He said what they had said was not true. And I don't know. Maybe he's right, but the cockiness and the fact that he hardly knew anything about the truck itself, I don't know. No specific numbers he could tell me. I thought it was really sad. I went to a Nissan dealer, and the guy that helped me admitted that he didn't know anything, but there was still the fact that he didn't know anything about the truck. You need to know what you're selling. You need to be able to talk knowledgeably about what you're selling. That same thing happened to the GM dealership. The ladies that tried to help me knew nothing about the trucks. It was really sad. I was trying to ask good questions I really wanted to know about, and they couldn't give me good answers. So that's one thing. Another thing about dealers that they could change is having good stock. So the dealership I went to, let's see, we'll talk about the Nissan dealer. The Nissan dealer had no trucks with leather in them, which may seem fickle. Okay, why do you need leather? I was trying to drive very similar vehicles each time I tried the different pickups. And the truck I chose that I wanted to test drive in the first place was the Laramie. On the higher end, but not the nicest Ram has put out. So they have the Tradesman, they have a SL, SLT, SLT Bighorn, and then I think next is the Laramie, and then the Laramie Longhorn, and then the Laramie Longhorn Limited. The Limited is the highest they do. And so I'm at the Nissan dealer, and I'm wanting to test something similar and comfortable, like the amenities and stuff like that. I wanted something similar, and they couldn't show me anything. The Ford dealer did. The GM dealer did. The Chevy did. All the HD pickups actually were decently well matched. They didn't have the best selection. Like, one of the thins I was looking for was an Aisin transmission with a single rear wheel truck. And in the Ram, they couldn't find me one of those. The Ford dealership had their own problems. So we're just gonna look over that for a second and go to my third thing that I want to talk about is unpractical items on the lot. This has sort of turned into a Nissan dealer rant, but what happened was the only leather truck they had, and the reason why I didn't bring it up just a second ago when I talked about leather, is the fact that the only one they had was a trade-in. Someone had traded it in. Yes, it was a 2017, but they had just traded it in, and it was lifted. The reason why I have a problem with that is the fact that it was a two-wheel drive truck. What are you doing? What in the world are you doing with a lifted two-wheel drive truck? They're oxymorons. That's an oxymoron. To put those two together, it doesn't work. There's no point of it. I don't know if it's just because I'm in Southern California right now, or what the problem is. But that was really sad. So those three main things. The first one was lack of knowledge about the trucks. And that was across the board, except the Ram dealer. The guy did know more than others. Partly to do with the fact that a Ram dealer is normally just Ram. It's not a Dodge dealer and a Ram dealer. It was just a Ram dealer. So the people there all knew a little more. So that was nice. But the Ford, the Chevy, the GM, and the Nissan, they all were very incompetent. The second thing was lack of inventory. Lack of good inventory. And then the third thing was having impractical things on the lot. Why would you want to sell that? I'm just going to keep it to the three. I could nitpick smaller things. But again, I don't have time for that, and I don't think you really want to hear that. Those are the three main things. If you agree with me, please comment and talk about your experiences at a dealership. Good or bad, actually. You know, if you had a good experience in the dealership, tell me where that is, and maybe I'll go visit them. But leave those in the comments. Please like this video. You could share it. That would be awesome too. And then, again, comment on the video. Tell me about your experiences at dealerships. Thanks for watching.